You're in a good place now. Relax, breathe, smile. You've entered into your element, the home of origin, the home of intelligence and beauty, where relevant topics are discussed, where what you think counts, and where superior is the norm. You are listening to Perspectives with Ashley Berges.
Hey, welcome back live here with me, Ashley Berges, on Perspectives. Last week we had kind of a heated discussion, I would say. We discussed CNN, we discussed other synthetic news agencies as well, and how synthetic news really does color our outlook. It really makes our life kind of negative in a way. You know, about how the truth is, or what is the truth, and the truth isn't being reported. How we have to begin re-recognizing the truth. Because we've been pushed around for too long. We told lies for too long, and now it's time to take back our life. We kind of dabbled, I'd say, on the discussion of apathy and how our country is becoming more apathetic with each and every day because of the synthetic news you and I are being dished every minute of every day. Only you can stop apathy. Only you can stop your own apathy. You can stop the way that you react to the synthetic news. And the only way you can do this is to stop it. To discontinue its ability in your life. You know, when you are surrounded by something, it's hard to overcome something. Sometimes you have to just completely remove it. You know, I understand, like me, if you're walking through an airport terminal and TVs surround you and the same synthetic news on, you see it, you hear it. But you don't have to stick around. You don't have to stand underneath the TVs. You can move on. You can move on with your life. And you don't have to let the fear factor take you. You know, I was meeting with a friend of mine earlier this week, and he was thinking of heading to shop for some family gifts. He was like, this is a good time to go shopping. But he told me, he goes, I made the mistake. I turned on the TV, I turned on the synthetic news right before I met you, and there was a story about a woman who had been punched in the face buying a TV for her family. Punched in the face, Ashley, punched in the face. And he told me about it. He's like, gosh, I just don't want to get punched in the face. I don't want to get in a fight while shopping, for holiday season. What am I going to do? And I reminded him, almost 300-pound man, that the news got him where they wanted him. They induced fear into him. They added a dabble of rage as well because he was like, how could this happen? And then they kept his butt at home out of fear of being punched. But even worse, out of fear that Christmas is a scary and evil holiday that brings the worst out in people. See, this type of news is the virus. It doesn't give anything but fear. It gives you fear, and you become fearful to live in this world because everyone's out to get you. As you know, there are some news agencies and news publications that are good, and they contain quality news. However, they all don't. And some of them intend to scare you back into the house because the world, contrary to the truth, is a scary place. Instead, be the change that you wish to see in the world. That was said by Gandhi. And if you own a hand-signed copy of my latest book, The 10-Day Challenge to Live Your True Life, I may have written that in my dedication as well. What do y'all think about that? I thought that was crazy. My buddy was like, dude, I don't want to get punched in the face. I'm like, you're not going to get punched in the face. It happened one time. It's on one thing. Scared the heck out of people.
Well, yeah, if you hear it on the news or read it in the newspaper, oh my gosh, that's going to happen to me. And I think a lot of people are that way. But I think you're right, Ashley. Like, what are the odds?
It happened one time, and we don't even know if it happened.
Well, there was also that story in the news too. Some lady had a taser gun and was tasing people to get people away from whatever it is that she was trying to buy.
Wow!
But was that the Christmas shopping?
Yeah.
Was that at a Walmart?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. That's and this is a little bit of a tangent, but
here we go.
I always hate Black Friday because to me it's just so anti-Christmas. People fighting over what to buy their little brats. The latest little knick-knack or trinket or electronic gizmo, and my gosh, my kid will be ruined for life and need therapy unless I buy them the latest Xbox. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to go too far off into that.
Tangent, Bill, tangent. But you know what? Let's just talk about this tangent for 1 second. This tangent does have credibility because I remember when we never called it Black Friday. I think it's an awful name because, the reason why we call it Black Friday, just for people that don't know, is because corporations want to stay in the black, not the red. Okay, so when they're in the black, they're it's positive, it's good stuff, they're making money, and the concept of that is just it's awful. We never called it that, and like what you were saying before, not every child at 5 years old needs an iPad. I mean, I see children that are in their 5, 6 years old walking around with more technology than I have, and they wonder why their kids have issues. My child has no imagination. My child won't go outside and play with other kids. My child is allergic to outside.
Literally, probably.
That's because they don't push them outside. They're giving them all the gadgets and stuff because that's what they want. I want it. Okay, well, they're going to scream and cry until you get it for them. So might as well just get it to them.
Or they want to entertain them because they are sick and tired of them, and they want them to just watch this show for a little while and give them some peace and quiet.
It's the babysitter.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I'd rather just take them to daycare, take them to night care, whatever,
right.
Where they can play with other kids and scream their head off and run around outside and play hide and go seek and do that kind of thing. I mean, what happened to that? It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
It went away with Nintendo.
Oh, man, Nintendo was cool. Okay, we're tangenting right now. Nintendo
here we go.
is great.
Anyway, back on subject here. Yeah.
Back on subject. I agree, and I think that, things do need to be changed. But for the most part, one person got punched. One person used a taser. Okay, that's a couple the person that punched her in the taser, that's 2 bad seeds, okay? But you know what? All in all, it's a very small percentage in the United States.
So you're saying we shouldn't let one instance of, somebody getting punched or maybe one instance, to use another example of, some crazed gunman going into elementary school, whatever horrific thing. Don't let that one thing just freeze you with fear of living your life.
Exactly, because otherwise you don't have anything. If you're that fearful, you don't want to leave the house. And when you do leave the house, you're completely scared. What's going to happen to me? Oh my gosh. And so your entire experience is tainted because, like we talked about before, fear is an unrealistic non-emotion. I mean, the only real emotion is love. And when you act from fear, nothing true can happen. If I came in here and I was fearful about everything, my message would not be good. You wouldn't want to listen to me. I mean, if Dan came in here was all stressed out all the time and was in fear, I mean, he would be like, oh, I don't know what to say. I mean, we wouldn't be having a good experience.
Well, of course, that's how he is anyway.
Dan, it's okay, man. I got your back, dude. I got your back. But, tonight's show has nothing to do with this, okay? It has nothing to do with the state of the world and its synthetic news. It has to do with following your dreams. And contrary to some of the synthetic news, you can. Following your heart, that's a big deal, too. And keeping your eye on what's important. It's about being the best you can be and doing good no matter if others are watching or not. That's a big deal right there. Ding, 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 ding. When you're doing good, when others are watching or not. Think about that. It's also about being talented. It's about being ballsy. It's about being competitive. It's about shining. And it's about knowing there's a bigger plan that will come to light when the moment is just right. Yeah, we're talking tonight with Lillie McCloud. Many of you recently saw and heard her sing on X Factor. On the X Factor. Yeah, Lillie joins us tonight to tell us about the stuff you didn't see on X Factor and where she's heading next in her career and her life. So that's going to be an interesting show tonight because I want to know some of that stuff. I know people are interested in that stuff. We watch these shows, and especially X Factor, because there's so much talented people. There's so many people that are talented, and probably without a lot of these shows, they wouldn't get their chance to get out there. They wouldn't get their chance to have millions of people see them. It's a big deal. You get millions of people seeing you when you wouldn't normally have that chance. And we only get to see what we're shown on the cameras and some cut and splices on YouTube. We don't really get to hear what's going on. We don't really get to hear about the schedules. I know a lot of listeners want to hear tonight about, the things we don't see, the process, that kind of stuff, as well as some deeper things. So we're going to go there later on tonight. But you know what? Stay tuned because we have an awesome show for you. Lillie joins us here in our second segment, and we got a lot to talk about, a lot of X Factor, and a lot of following your dreams. So Perspectives with Ashley Berges will be back soon. Oh, and I actually didn't tell you this as well. We're going to be also talking about, the driving force behind people's successes. And also, we're going to talk about the roller coaster it is to be in fame. So stay tuned because Perspectives with Ashley Berges, we'll be back in, 2 shakes.
You can kiss goodnight.
Turn it up and jump in the deep end on Perspectives with Ashley Berges. The water's warm and there's a swim-up bar. Glass of perspective, anyone? Now, here's Ashley.
You can kiss goodnight.
You're back here with Ashley Berges on Perspectives Live. We have a beautiful evening and a beautiful show for you. We have Lillie McCloud from the X Factor joining us in studio. And tonight we're going to be talking about following one's dream. We're going to talk about doing what's right by others. And when you do that, you kind of wonder, when is it going to happen for me? Lillie McCloud, I'm so happy you're able to join us here live on Perspectives with Ashley Berges. How are you doing this evening?
Hi there, Miss Ashley. I'm doing absolutely fabulous.
I love it.
Excited to be here with you today.
Well, we're happy to have you. And wow.
It's been a ride.
I bet. For everybody, I know that everybody's been watching the show, and if you've watched the show, there's been a lot of things going on. Been some monumental things, some moments, And so let's talk. Let's kind of rewind. Everybody that's listening has heard your beautiful voice. We've seen you light up the stage. And I know a lot of my listeners, they want to get your perspective on the process. We see you perform, but we don't see really that much. We only get to see what we're shown. Kind of explain the process to us a little bit about the things that we don't know that behind the scenes.
Right. Well, it's certainly busy. There's no downtime. It's 7 days a week. There's no days off. I mean, you might get lucky. That didn't happen to me, but you start your day off around, I guess, standing up about 5 or 5:30 in the morning. Your pickup time is about 7:15. You get at the studio maybe 15 minutes later because we were staying at a hotel pretty close to that. And the moment you walk in, it's on. I mean, you are going from vocal rehearsals to mentoring with your mentor, which was Kelly Rowland for me, makeup artists into hair, from that to wardrobe, and then you do routining with your choreographer. You have stage rehearsals or rehearsals for ensembles with the entire group. I mean, I'm not even hitting all of the things that you do in the course of a day. So that's about anywhere from 14 to 18 hours nonstop, and it's just you have to get a few hours sleep and turn around and do it again.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. We don't ever see that. It's kind of like they should have like a camera rolling 24 hours a day. You know how they do like in Big Brother.
It's absolutely insane. I mean, in the middle of all that, you never know. You're doing videos or commercials for. We did a lot of the CoverGirl commercials and some of the little videos for them. I mean, it's so much going on. It's just totally nonstop, and the schedules are flipped and turned around, and you never know. That's just the X Factor. You don't know what's going to happen next.
That's true. That's the name. So let me ask you. We were kind of talking about this a little bit today, but let's talk about you. You started singing at an early age. How old were you?
I was about 13 or 14 years old when I started singing in nightclubs, and my mother would actually go with me. There was a little little club in the little area where I lived, maybe 5 minutes away, and I kind of started off there with a singing group, and it was really cool back then. I knew I wanted to be a singer.
That's awesome. Yeah. So was your mom your driving force, or what was your driving force for really, finding yourself in music?
During that time, my dad was a preacher, mom preacher's wife, and she's always singing. Both of them could sing really well. So I would say that I just was always around listening to songs since I was 2 or 3 or 4 years old, paying attention to it. And then Motown hit the scene, and I fell in love with, like, the Jacksons and all the cool sounds from back in the day. And that was, like, the motivating force for me, wanting to be a superstar, because Motown was just really rocking the music industry at that time.
Did you have, like, somebody you looked up to, that was either a professional singer or somebody that was alive or had passed that you thought was just an amazing singer or person?
No, not really. I mean, I just threw myself into the whole Motown thing. All of the artists were just fantastic, and I don't know. I was a little kid, and I would listen to all the sounds and get in the mirror, and I just thought I was a superstar. I'm telling you. I was singing everything that was hitting the radio back then, and I could always see myself on stage, and I fell in love with it, and I never stopped. At 13, 14 was the first time I actually hit the stage in front of people, and I fell more and more in love with music, and I just never stopped, and I've been chasing that dream ever since. I can't imagine doing anything else.
That's clear dedication, and that's something you have to have in order to make a dream come true. You can't be floundering about thinking, oh, do I want to do this, or oh, do I want to do that? It's more like I got to really focus on the one thing, and when you really focus and you believe in yourself, that's a way to deal with obstacles, but it's a way to try to get closer to your dream.
Yeah. I mean, going through high school, I did some stuff, like I was into sports, and I really thought at that point I was going to be, like, representing America and get the gold, because I was running. I was really fast and doing all of the high jumping and all this stuff. So I thought, well, maybe I'll go that way, but I just couldn't leave music. And then I was really good at I thought I would be an architect. I was really good at making projects where you did the whole structure, the ground structure, with the building cities and the electricity and just everything that you did to build the city, the buildings. And I couldn't get away from music. And then I was the youngest meat cutter in Rochester, New York.
Wow.
The youngest meat cutter. And how did I get into meat cutting? I was in wood shop because I wanted to be this architect. I was in wood shop, and I just really loved cutting and making things with, just cutting houses and buildings. And, well, I just the job came up, and I said, why not? And I went to try out for it, and I got it. The youngest meat cutter in Rochester, New York. But I still couldn't get away from the music, so look at me. I'm still doing it.
That's awesome, though. So you had all these other options that came into play, and you knew what your true love was, and that's something we'll be talking about later on in the hour, too, about really working to strive to your goals. So let's play a clip here real quick. Bill, can you cue up the clip from the Chelsea Lately show when she interviews Simon Cowell about the X Factor?
Really not. You're just not a very good singer. But like he said, then that one person comes in. And we had this girl who was 54 who auditioned for us this year for the new series of The X Factor. And she, I would say, is probably the best singer we've ever had on any of these shows.
Better than Susan Boyle?
Well, Susan's got a great voice, but in terms of just the quality of her voice, her name's Lillie.
Susan's got not only a great voice, but a great body.
Yeah, to some people, yeah.
Yeah, to me. I mean, that's a hot body, and I would like to sit on it.
Okay, well, I'll call her.
Please let her know.
I'll let her know.
Please let her know, because I'm sure there's a bunch of people waiting in line for that. But anyway, what's your 54-year-old girl's name so we can look out for her?
Lillie.
Lillie.
Yeah, and she really, really is special, this girl.
Okay, so we're going to see her on the X Factor this season?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I look forward to that, Simon Cowell.
Thank you very much.
I'm very glad to meet you finally. Well, it's a pretty short show, sorry. It's only half hour.
That's awesome. I really like Chelsea. Wow. She's great. Okay, so let's talk about that. Simon, obviously mentioned you and talked about you and brought your name up, Lillie, a couple of times. There was a bit of confusion that arose after that interview.
Yes. I had quite a few, and I don't know another name for it. Now, I get this from the teenagers. They're called haters, but I would rather have a different type of name. I just haven't come up with one yet. I think it's just people who just don't understand the process of music and trying to get a image for yourself. When I came to X Factor, you're doing all these contracts, and I put down Nicole J. McCloud because that's the name I've always used. You know, for me, it was when I would think, here's Lillie, it didn't quite have the ring to it that I needed. So I decided to use my middle name, one of my middle names, Nicole, because it just sounded better. But for some reason, Simon attached on to Lillie. And I thought to myself, he'd used it several times in different interviews and so forth. And I said to myself, well, I guess I'm Lillie then. But unfortunately, some of the fans, introducing me as Lillie, some of the fans started doing some little researching, and they found out that Lillie was Nicole. And they presented it incorrectly by saying I was trying to hide my identity. In fact, I've had a music career before. X Factor is for people who have never had a career, and it's, to discover new talent, and on and on and on. And I actually cried about it because they really painted me as being untruthful and trying to fool the public. But this just wasn't so. It's difficult to have, when you have a record out, whether it's one record or 20, it's difficult to hide who you are because, it's just simply easy to find out. So after crying about it a few times and realizing that they just don't understand, I kind of let that lift off of me, and I had to let that go. This show, X Factor, is for new talent, yes, but it's also for bringing back careers that just didn't quite get to where they wanted to get to. There were several artists on the show who had a background in theater or music or something involving music. So, yeah, it caused a lot of controversy when he said that. And unfortunately for me, when they began to put your package together and get some information out there to the public, they didn't quite mention everything. Although I told them about my career and my records and this, that, and the other, they kind of didn't put it all out there at once because it's a strategy, You can't just give everybody everything at one time. So they leaked the information out little by little, and eventually these people who didn't understand, really, they kind of faded out and went away. Thank you, Jesus. But it was really difficult at first. It really was.
I wrote a blog about that. It was about haters. But I think that is one of the words that people use. And a lot of times people just don't know any better. And sometimes this is an education level as well. But, sometimes it's easy to make judgment on other people when it's not you. And the thing is that you have to kind of look at it in the fact that you are Lillie. You put yourself in that position and understand that she wasn't lying to the public, but that she was being portrayed in a certain light. And, I agree that it wasn't – I agree with you, and I think it's great. And we're going to come back here. We're going to stop right now. We're going to be back here for another segment to discuss more with Lillie and more about, the roller coaster it was, as well as her life mantra, as well as what she has next, what's planned for Lillie next and where she's going. So stay tuned, and you know what? Perspectives with Ashley Berges will be back in, 2 shakes.
Then I think this competition could become really, really exciting because, competitions need big voices, competitions need stars, and you have the X Factor, sweetheart.
This is Jake Busey, and you're listening to Perspectives with Ashley Berges on 570 KLIF.
I think this competition could become really, really exciting because, competitions need big voices, competitions need stars, and you have the X Factor, sweetheart.
Welcome back live here with Perspectives with me, Ashley Berges. And we're talking tonight live with Lillie McCloud. Lillie has been on the X Factor. You've seen her. Millions of y'all have seen her. You've seen her perform. You've seen her sing. You've seen her light up the stage. And that clip we just heard was Simon talking about how, Lillie, you are the X Factor. Tell us about that particular moment. What was running through your head right then?
Oh boy! At that moment, I thought, okay, I'm just a minute away from reaching my dream. I'm going to get there. This is it. I'm being recognized for all the time and energy that I put into this dream of mine, the music, and it's finally I'm gonna get there, you know. But I didn't know that I was still a little ways away, a little ways away from reaching my dream. But it was really great to hear Simon say that, because he's very, people listen to what he has to say, whether it's good or bad. So it just felt amazing in that moment.
That's
really
true. He does have an audience. And people do listen, and that's something I do try to tell people too, is that, if you do have a major audience, people listen to you, just always be true to what you say. I was talking to a lot of friends of mine, and I know some people that have had friends or family that have been in some types of similar shows, and they've really told me that it was an emotional roller coaster. And I know that you've also stated this, and I mean, was this a really intense, emotional, physical roller coaster for you?
Yeah, it was very, very, definitely hard. And it was up and down. You're crying, you're happy, you're excited, you're sad, you're confused, you're mad. I mean, every emotion that you could possibly go through. When I did the 4-chair challenge, I think this was one of the most emotional experiences that I had, because you become friends with the other contestants. It was a love fest. Although we were in competition with each other, we really grew a really beautiful friendship. And so in the 4-chair challenge, to see your friends being ripped out the chair, your dreams are up, and then all of a sudden you make it to a seat, but then somebody can come and take your place. I was the last one to go, but I tell you what, I felt every emotion that they were feeling when they were going through that. Just the schedule itself, it's really crazy. You don't have the freedom that you would want as far as choosing your songs or your look or your style or you're mentored all the way around. So that's quite difficult for me, a person who's always used to being in control of my own thing, my own style. And to be able to be vulnerable like that and just hand it over to people who you just met was quite difficult for me. But I find that I found a new audience. Usually I'm the girl who's really, high energy. I'm jumping around, I'm sweating, I'm going through 4 and 5 outfits. It's like a power performance. But I learned a new side of me, which is this ballatress that they were making me to be. And I have a different audience, a new audience. And actually, I just started to embrace this new a person that they were bringing out of me. So it actually turned out to be good for me and to work in my favor. If I look at it, maybe it was preparing me in a better way for the gospel thing that I want to do, because I do want to go into gospel. But maybe not gospel as the mainstream audience would know it, because I certainly probably will put on my cat suit and boots and go out there and rock some gospel.
That's cool. Yeah, you got to see. If anybody hasn't seen, I know you've probably seen Lillie, but Lillie has the most amazing arms too. I mean, I was looking at you in this video. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, beautiful woman, beautiful face, beautiful body, awesome arms. I mean, it's amazing. And so let's play that clip. Let's play the one about the speech that you pretty much gave, which was amazing when they recently voted you off, unfortunately.
Based on America's votes, the act leaving the competition right now is Lillie McCloud.
I expected a different outcome, but America knows what they want. So I'm still happy. Surprisingly, I don't know why I'm not more devastated. It was an unbelievable ride, and I got so far. So I'm still happy. It's hard not to be happy about how far I've gotten.
I think that's amazing. And we talked earlier, and I know that, God is a big part in your life as well. And I believe I would ask you the question one way, but I think I'm going to have to ask it a different way. I think that probably your resolve of what you said right then is probably even stronger now than then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. I mean, I knew, it's a feeling. I knew that my time was done right there for that moment, for that thing that I was doing, the X Factor in my life. I believe that I've heard from people from Ethiopia, from Brazil, from just different parts of the world who were children were dying and they felt that I gave them hope, or people who never knew God and they minimum are seeking his face right now, or investigating, really, is there a God? People that were never curious that are curious now. People who had a gentleman came up to me in L.A. in a restaurant, and he had a coughing spell. It was like really, really bad. And he said he walked out of the bathroom and he looked over at me, and all of a sudden the coughing spell stopped. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is good. This is God, really maybe he's using me. So the objective for me going on that show, I said, was when I did the Alabaster Box, I was borderline pneumonia. I almost canceled 2 days before going. And when I got there, I went to the bathroom to try to sing, and nothing came out. I was talking to my guy about it. But it was time for stage. Suddenly, I had no fear, which is unusual because I'm always nervous before going on stage. And before going on stage, I said, okay, come on, God, if we can go out there and change one person, we've done our job. And little did I know that after that show, a lot of things that you guys didn't see, they were declaring, the judges themselves were declaring God in that audience. Kelly was screaming, God is here, God is here. It was I just see amazing what the Lord has done by having me on the X Factor for the short period that I was there. It's about showing people that you can love each other, that there is love, that there is a good thing. It's a good thing to unite. It's a good thing to have peace. It's easier to love. And I think a lot of people got that out of some of the songs that I was singing, and I'm good with that. And now I feel that the Lord has something else for me to do. And I'm not saying that I'm holier than thou, because I love all kinds of music now. I'll jump on a drum riser in 5 minutes and start rocking out.
That's cool. I want to be there at a cool rock out session. I want to be there front row, hanging out. Let me ask you. I think it's beautiful, and I agree with what you're just saying, and I agree if you can change one person. So what's next? What's next for Lillie?
Well, now I'm going to keep in contact with the contacts that I made with Honda and CoverGirl and Kelly Rowland, Paulina, and Michael Bublé, Nigel Wright, who was a conductor for the orchestra, and all these people I've met. I'm going to stay in touch with them and see what's possible, because I've had some offers from a few of them. Also had a movie offer. I want to look into that. I want to just continue to go on with my career. I plan on putting out a gospel CD, not gospel as you know it, but hopefully you're going to like it. I'm planning on totally moving forward. I'm excited. The X Factor was a place to launch from, and it gave me the exposure that I needed to do, some greater things. So what I do with this great gift that I've achieved from being on the X Factor is going to be everything. I need to be smart about what has happened to me.
Being on these type of shows, like I was saying, it can be such an awesome thing, and you can be exposed to so much and so many people, and so it's what you really take from it, And because of that, I think your life mantra is so cool. If you could if you could tell our listeners like one thing that really gets you through each day, that really puts you on point.
The thing that gets me through each day is, of course, prayer. But what motivates me to do this music thing is children. I have such a passion and a love that I don't even know where it came from. I have 3 children and I have 7 grandkids, but I have a passion for the love of children. So when you're talking about St. Jude Hospital or care institution for children, this just motivates me. I feel like I have to do something to save the children. We need more people out there with the resources that would invest in the discovery of a cure for something, or to pay for a parent's child who don't have the money to get the operation, or those kinds of things. That wakes me up every day, and it moves me. And no matter how many times I get knocked down, I just get up and brush my knees off and get up again. I can't stay down. There's too much to do. and it's a rush to do it. There's an emergency here for it, and then that motivates me every day. And every day I'm happy. I love to be around happy things. I love the sunlight, and just I need to be around happy energy so I'm able to move forward. So it's impossible for me to stay down. I can't remain down.
Yeah, happy energy, positive energy is a must. And I'm going to ask you one last question, and this is one that's been on my mind. I mean, I don't know about all y'all, but will you come back and be on Perspectives, because we want to have you back on. We love your energy. I think you're amazingly beautiful, amazingly positive, and I just want to know more. We want to know more.
I want to come back. I want you to go horseback riding with me.
I'd love to.
Yeah, I want you to go horseback riding. It's a great place to motivate, to meditate and be motivated.
Yeah, I'm on. I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. Yes, I will go. Right. You might have to slow down for me.
We'll ride the ponies.
Okay, yeah, because I was going to say, you might want to slow down for me a little bit. I'm a beginner. I'm a novice. Bill's over here like going, oh gosh, I hope you're okay. But I can ride a horse. I mean, I have a good center. I have a good center of stability. I don't fall down. I'm pretty light on the feet. I got cat-like skills. So I would like to do that. It'd be good.
Okay.
I love that. Thank you. So I really appreciate you coming on.
Oh, it was really a lot of fun, Can I say something? I want people to look out for me. If you see me in concert somewhere, come on, because I need you to see that other girl that you didn't get a chance to see on the X Factor.
Awesome.
Okay, I need you to see me jump on a jump riser or something.
And if anybody wants any more information on you, Lillie, is there anywhere that our listeners should go, or just look you up, just Google you and find out where you're going and what you're doing?
Oh, yeah. You can, I have my website, which is NicoleMcCloud.com. And there's my Facebook, which is Lillie Nicole McCloud. And then my fan page is Lillie Nicole MC. And you can hit me up at on my email. Let's see, what is the new email? I just put up a different one, and I want to give you that so bad, but I don't know if I remember it.
Technology these days.
I know. I just put up a new one, and I don't even remember what it is. But
well, you know what? We'll share that with our listeners online, and we'll actually share that. But we are running out of time, Lillie, and I so appreciate you having you on, and you're a blessing, and I can't wait to talk to you here in a few.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, Bill. And thank you so much for having me on. I really, really enjoyed it.
It was a lot of fun, Lillie, and good luck to you in the future, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Call me back.
I will, Lillie. You have a great night. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
That's awesome. Lillie McCloud here from the X Factor, and for a lot more going on in her life coming up. Can't wait to have her back on Perspectives with Ashley Berges. So stay tuned. We have more. We're going to be talking about how to really follow your dreams, but not only how to follow them, but how to actually make them happen and come into reality. Perspectives with Ashley Berges will be back in, in 2 shakes.
Hi, angels. I want to thank you so much for all of your support, all my family and friends and everybody that was out there fighting to try to get me to that winner's circle. But God knows what he's doing, so just remember that, and don't you dare cry or shed a tear for me, because you'll be crying and I'll still be smiling. It is all good, and I hope that we still remain friends. I love you so much.
I could lift you up. I could show you what you want to see and take you where you want to be. You could be.
Get in here and give us your perspective. We're listening. You're listening to Perspectives with Ashley Berges.
Hey, welcome back here live with me, Ashley Berges, here on Perspectives. I know you enjoyed listening to Lillie McCloud. It was really awesome having her on, and it's really cool getting to hear a lot about what somebody goes through when you're pursuing a dream, when you're, resurrecting, as well as when you're dealing with being on a show where you're being seen by millions and millions of people. I mean, the X Factor is very cool. It has its ups and downs. It's a roller coaster. And I think just like that, when you're trying to follow your dreams and you're doing this for your life, you deal with adversity. We come into, adversity, we come into obstacles as part of our life as well. And obstacles and adversity really do, sometimes they come into our life to get us off track. They sometimes come in our life to see if we truly want something. I figured that out because a lot of times adversity and obstacles don't come around until it's something big. Because, I mean, what's the point? I mean, adversity, you can't go to the bar that you normally drink at. I mean, okay, there's a roadblock. That's not really a big deal. But when the adversity or the obstacle shows up, we usually don't see it in this kind of light. Like it's illuminating, it's showing us that maybe we're on target. Maybe it's showing us that there's something there. We see it as a problem. We don't say to ourselves, oh, okay, this is here to make sure that I really want to do this, or this is here to make sure that this is really, really important to me. When was the last time that you had something get in the way of what you were doing? You went, okay, this is a good point here. Okay, obviously this is important to me. Obviously this is trying to make sure I want to do this. But that's the way you need to look at obstacles and adversity. That's the way that you look at it. That's the way you deal with it, because otherwise it just seems like a crisis. Otherwise the world's falling apart. So here's the straight truth. I mean, on how to really overcome, and I like to underline your perceived obstacles, and really make your dreams come true. You want to see the obstacles as perceived obstacles. It's just perception. It's just your perspective. When you realize they aren't permanent, and if you adjust your thought process just a little bit, you will be able to overcome them. Because if you don't feel like they're just like overwhelming, oh God bless, what am I going to do? Oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this. Oh my gosh. If you don't feel like that, you'll eventually be able to say, okay, this is perceived. Okay, this is the perspective. I'm going to look at it this way, and I'm going to actually really realize this is something I really, 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 really want to do. The second thing you want to do to overcome obstacles and to make your dreams come true is to believe in yourself and to believe in your abilities. If you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe in your abilities, then, you might as well pack it up. And I know this can be very hard for a lot of us because a lot of us don't give ourselves enough credit. A lot of us see ourselves as we're always screwing up. A lot of us see ourselves like, why can't we just get that right? And we're not very nice to ourselves. And I think you got to step back and say, hey, and really truly understand what believing in yourself means. And believing in your abilities. Not everybody's better than you. You really have to stick up for yourself and say, okay, what am I really, 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 really good at? And believe in yourself to carry it through and believe in yourself to be the best you can be. Because if I got up here and did a radio show every day and I didn't believe in anything I did and I was like, oh God, this sucks. It's going to be awful. The show would be awful. Mm-hmm. And nobody would listen. You wouldn't be listening to the show. Lillie McCloud wouldn't be on the show from the X Factor. None of that would be going on because it wouldn't be a good show at all. But instead, it's the opposite. It's a great show. It's a quality show. It's not synthetic news. It's real stuff. And it really benefits you. And it's entertaining and it's funny. The third way to really overcome perceived obstacles and to make your dreams come true is you must be committed. Committed. You must believe and be committed. You can't just let everything take you off target. You got to believe in yourself. You got to be committed to it. Even if the commitment means you can't go out, you can't do this, you can't do that, and you got to focus all your resources, your time and effort on this. Because that's the only way that you're going to take a major dream and make it into reality. Otherwise, just keep on dreaming because dreaming is fun. But if you really want to make it a reality, you got to commit to it. You got to commit to it. You got to believe in it. You got to believe in yourself. And lastly, you got to have one goal. You can't have like 100. You can't say, okay, I want to be on X Factor. I want to be on this. I want to be a pro skater. I want to be this and that. No, you got to kind of figure out what you want. If you're a singer, you got to really connect and you got to commit with singing, dancing. It doesn't matter if you're the best lawyer, whatever it is, you got to commit to it and you can't have all these crazy goals. You got to have one. You got to be specific. It's really crazy how words and specifics is so important when making dreams come true. So think about that. Limit one goal. Man, I'll tell you one thing. This was a great show, and I think Perspectives is really coming on into its own. We have great people. Dan, I really appreciate you coming out tonight, man. You make this show awesome. And, you know, I think you understand and resonate with what I was just talking about more than anybody.
Yeah, I do. You know, and you know, as Lily was talking about, you know, how she was following her dreams. My wife, she's been singing since she's like 3 years old, and and I may be biased, but you know, I think she's an incredible singer.
See, she's following her dreams, and she's been doing it forever.
Yeah,
and she believes in herself, and you believe in her too. Good husband, by the way, good husband. Bill, you know what I'm talking about more than anything too. You changed jobs, you did all kinds of stuff because you believe in something you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I might as well have moved to the planet Mars. You know, coming from a small town in West Texas. To pursue my dream, and you know, I didn't have any friends, didn't have any family, you know, big city, and you know, 3 years later, here I am.
There you go, committed, and went with the commitment no matter what, against all odds, and that's the key. And so, if you take anything away from this show tonight, take away the fact that dreams can come true, and if you follow just this little tidbit of information that I've given you. You can make it happen and make it a reality. So stay tuned. We got a great show for you next week. We got a lot of neat stuff happening. We got a lot of awesome Technicolor Dreamcolor stuff kind of coming your way. So, yeah, it's going to be a good rest of the year. I can see that. So stay tuned. And I, your host, Ashley Berges, and Perspectives with Ashley Berges, will be back with you live. And we'll be back, and you know what? In 3 shakes. Good night.